Have you ever noticed how you can spend an entire day sitting in a chair, doing zero physical labor, and still end up feeling completely, utterly drained? Our minds are exhausted. That heavy, invisible fatigue rarely comes from a packed schedule. More often, it's the result of the sheer psychological energy we burn, trying to keep an iron grip on an unpredictable world. We spend our days desperately trying to dictate exactly how tomorrow should look. We attempt to steer the opinions of the people around us or micromanage our relationships. We hope that if we just hold on tight enough, we'll finally feel secure. But think about what happens when you hold a delicate flower. If you grip it with all your might to keep it safe, you crush the petals. If you hold it lightly with an open hand, it stays intact. Our obsession with absolute control often breaks the very things we are trying to protect. This rigid grip is the mechanism driving our modern anxiety. Look at the macro reality of the universe. Every single thing in existence is in a constant state of flux. Time constantly moves, circumstances continuously evolve, and relationships change. We cannot command our own heartbeat to pause or order the sun not to rise. The belief that we can manage the vast, chaotic machinery of life is a persistent illusion. The spiritual teacher Osho spent a lifetime examining this specific human blind spot. He taught that our psychological pain rises directly from the delusion that we can freeze time or own the world around us. Since the outside world cannot be forced into compliance, our deep exhaustion must be rising from an internal conflict, a much more intimate, invisible battlefield. As exhausting as it is to fight the outside world, that struggle is secondary to the primary war, the battle you wage against yourself. From a young age, we split our minds into two hostile factions: who we actually are and the idealized version society expects. We actively fight our perceived flaws, suppress natural emotions, and prosecute ourselves daily with immense, quiet guilt. It is exactly like trying to row a boat forward while simultaneously drilling holes into your own hull. This perpetual self-rejection acts as a black hole for human energy. It explains why external success often leaves us feeling completely hollow inside. The path out of this exhaustion involves letting go, though modern culture often mistakes this for laziness, weakness, or passive defeat. To understand true surrender, we can look at the ancient framework of karma yoga, outlined in the Bhagavad Gita. Karma yoga suggests a specific discipline. You execute your duties and actions with total sincerity, while dropping your obsession over the results. Applied inward, this means accepting our own dark sides and flaws. We do this not to wallow in them, but because you cannot heal a part of yourself that you are actively attacking. This surrender requires the courage to move through life with open hands, replacing the frantic need for certainty with a state of active trust. When you finally drop the rope and stop fighting yourself, the shift in your internal environment is immediate. All the mental energy previously wasted on maintaining internal friction is suddenly liberated and returned to you. Without the constant noise of self-judgment, that recovered energy converts into deep silence, heightened creativity, and a profound sense of inner peace. This internal shift ripples outward into our relationships. When we stop trying to control our own nature, we lose the urge to own or fix the people we love, allowing those connections to flourish in a space of absolute freedom. We find that peace arrives not when the world finally becomes quiet, but when we finally stop resisting the noise. When the habit of holding on finally breaks, it takes our deepest anxieties with it, even the fear of mortality. If you have already let go of the need for things to be permanent, the fact of their ending loses its power to terrify you. Realizing that we own absolutely nothing, not the money in our bank, not the people in our lives, not even the bodies we inhabit, reveals that there is nothing real to lose. That realization breeds an incredible fearlessness. Anxiety gives way to a spontaneous joy and a feeling of immense lightness. You see that life is already whole, and you, with all your flaws, mistakes, and unfinished business, were already enough right from the beginning. Living with this level of presence means dropping the weapons we use to fight reality, stepping back, and trusting the current of life to carry us exactly where we need to be.